What's your relationship with the animal in a situation like that? You said
Oh,
death is a part of life.
that's an interesting thought, because no matter what your relationship to, however you choose to go through life, whether, whatever you eat, whatever you do, um, death is a part of life. Like every animal that's out there is living off of a dead, even plants, we're all part of this ecosystem. I think it's really easy particularly in an urban environment, but anywhere, to think that we're separate from the ecosystem, but we are very much a part of it. Whether it be, farming requires, you know, all this habitat to be turned into growing soybeans and da 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 da. And when you get the plows and the combines, you're losing all kinds of different animals and all kind of potential habitat. So it's not cost free. And so when you realize that, then you want to produce the food and the things you need uh, in an ethical manner. So for me, hunting plays a really major role in that. Like I literally know how many animals a year it takes to feed my family and myself. I actually know the exact number, and it's like, and I know what the cost of that is, and I'm aware of it because I'm out in the woods and I see these like beautiful elk and moose, and I really love the species, love the animals, but there is a fact that one of those individuals, is going to have to feed me. And particularly like on alone, it was very heightened, that experience. So I shot that one animal and I was so thankful, that I wanted to give that big guy a hug and like, hey, sorry it was you, but
Yeah.
had to be somebody.
Yeah, there's that picture of you just almost hugging it.
Right, totally.
And you can also think about it, the calories, the protein, the fat, all of that comes from that will feed you.
Right. You're so grateful for it. Like the gratitude is like, definitely there.
What about the bow and arrow perspective?
Well, when you hunt with a bow, you just get so much more up close to the animals. You can't just get it from 600 yards away. You actually have to sneak in within 30 or so yards. And when you do that, the experiences you have are just, they're way more dragged out. So, your heart's beating longer. You have to control your nerves longer. More often than not, it doesn't go your way and the thing gets away. And, you've been hiking around in the woods for a week and then your opportunity arises and floats away. You're like, no. But at the same time, that's the only time when you'll like really have those interactions with the animals where you got this bugling bull, like tearing at the trees right in front of you, and other cow, elk, and animals running around you. You end up having really, I don't know, dare I say, intimate experiences with the animal, just because you're in it. You're kind of in its world. You're playing its game. It has its senses to defend itself, and you have your wit to try to to get over those. And it really becomes, it's not easy. They're not. It becomes kind of that chess game, and those prey animals are always tuned in. It's, slightest stick, they're looking for wolves or for whatever it is. So there's something really pure and fun about it. I will say there is an aspect that is fun. There's no denying it. It's like how people have been hunting forever, and I think it speaks to that part of us somehow. And I think our bow hunting is probably the most pure form of it, and that you get those experiences more often than with a rifle. So I don't know. I enjoy it a lot, and the way they do regulations and such. Kind of the best times to hunt are usually allowed for bow because they're trying to, keep it fair for the animal and such. So
the close distance makes you more in touch with sort of the natural way of the predator and prey, and you're one of the predators.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have to be clever, you have to be quiet, you have to be calm, you have to all of that.
Yep.
And the full challenge and the luck involved in catching the same thing as the predators do.
Exactly. How many times do they snap a stick and watch them run off and like, darn, my stock was failed, or so yeah, you're in that ecosystem.
How'd you learn to shoot the bow?
So yeah, I didn't grow up hunting. I grew up in area that a lot of people hunted, but my dad wasn't really into it, and so I never got into it until I lived in Russia with the natives. It was just such a part of everything we did and a part of our life that when I came back, I got a bow and I started doing archery in Virginia. It was a pretty easy way to hunt because the deer were overpopulated and you could get these urban archery permits. So you'd go out and, every couple days you'd have an opportunity to shoot a deer that they needed population control. And so there were a lot of them, and it gave you a lot of opportunities to learn quickly. Mm-hmm. So that's what got me into it. And then I found I really enjoyed it.
Do you practice with the target also, or just practice out hunting?
Oh, no, I would definitely practice with a target a lot. You kind of have an obligation to do your best because you don't want to be flinging arrows into like the leg of an animal. And it's a cool way, honestly, to provide quality meat for the family. It's all raised naturally and wild and free until you bring it home into the freezer. So